Alright guys, let's get a little 2020 cold start. Oh yeah, fires right up. Hello guys, and welcome back to the second of many videos on this 2020 F350 Platinum Power Stroke. Man, I've got so much stuff planned for this truck, so much stuff planned for this channel. It's honestly, it's unbelievable. It's gonna be wicked. But today what we're gonna do, I'll give you a quick little walk around of the truck. You can see these walk around videos everywhere, but I'm gonna do a quick little walk around video, and then we're gonna take this thing for a drive, and I'm gonna do a little MPG result along the way. I've got a couple errands to do. I actually have to drop this truck back off of the dealer so I can get the undercoat done and a couple things done that they couldn't fit in right away. I wanted to get the truck home, get a couple videos out for you guys like right away. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get that done today, and then this is going back. Stuff's going off the 250, getting thrown on this thing, and we're set and ready to go. Videos galore. But for today, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so here it is. You can tell it's the 2020 right away by the front grille. So the front grille has changed. The air dam is massive and it is lower. The trucks are actually lower for 2020, even the 350s. In the previous video I posted, if you guys haven't checked that out, I'll put a link at the end of this video. It was my first drive impressions and taking delivery of this truck. I parked it next to a 2019, and you can see the difference when you park them side by side in the mirrors. You can see how much difference they are. So we'll take a little walk around. This is definitely the first one of these trucks in Nova Scotia, without a doubt. Another change, subtle change from the 2020 to 2019 is the cab lights on top are actually clear with amber lights. Before, and on my 2019 right there, they are actually amber, and the lights inside I assume are just clear. Other than that, aesthetically you really can't tell a whole lot of difference. The wheels have not changed, the paneling has not changed, all the badging has not changed. The only other difference would be on the back. There's one more thing we gotta take care of. Get that dealer plate off and get my plate on. This has changed a little bit. The Superduty used to be really big, and I think the Ford symbol used to be bigger too. So that has changed for 2020. And look at the hooks, guys. Remember I always complain about the hooks? Look how much bigger these gaps are in the hooks. There'll be no problem whatsoever getting the chains through there. That was the biggest thing that I complained about with the 17s and 19s, is you couldn't even get a chain hooked up there. So they listened, they took care of that. So looking in at the side here, this is not an FX4 package. I decided to take this truck instead because, guys, we're going to be lifting this truck. We're putting 37s on this thing, so there's no reason for an FX4 package. It gives you Rancho shocks, a slight bigger block on the back, and it gives you skid plates. Well, I can get skid plates, and we're taking the shocks and stuff off anyway, so there was just no point of doing that at all. We'll take a quick little look at the interior, but you can see the cameras. We got the 360 cameras there in the mirrors, the side mirrors. We've got the camera in the front with the little thing that comes out and cleans it off, which is pretty cool. And then of course the rear view camera. And the most important camera for me is that camera right there. It's going to make it very easy for hooking up my gooseneck. This does not have the prep package, so I will be adding that on as well. That's going to be basically the first thing that gets done to this truck will be that prep package. Obviously we have the power deploying running boards. This nice little platinum badge right here along the step. Looking at the inside, basically everything's the same. They have added a couple soft touch materials in the back on the armrest as well. This did come with the all-weather floor mats, but they are nowhere near as good as the Huskies, so these will be coming out and the Huskies will be going in. But I can tell you guys, from having this truck compared to my Lariat Ultimate, the seat is so much softer. There's so much more padding in these seats, and there's so much more adjustability through the screen. You can go into the screen, you can adjust like different positions through here, whereas in the Lariat Ultimate you can only adjust your lumbar support through right here. So there are some subtle differences between the Platinums and the Lariat Ultimates that you don't really notice right away. Of course, this has a Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is honestly crazy. It sounds very, very good. Another little subtle change, we have a wireless charging here right now. The trailer backup assist, they've taken from the 150s and they brought them into the 350s and 250s. And because of that, this does have the electronic assisted steering, and I can tell you that there is a difference in the adaptive steering in the 2020s compared to in the 2019s. My Lariat Ultimate did have the adaptive steering, and this is just easier around town. Turns much easier than what the 2019 did. Taking a look around the interior, nothing else really has changed. These trucks are absolutely beautiful and they are enormous. Of course, the twin panel moonroof there. The sync system has changed slightly. You can see that there's different fonts, as well as on your display here there's different fonts. They've changed up that a little bit. And of course, you do have drive modes now, which you did not have before. You have normal, tow haul, eco mode, slippery, deep snow and sand, which we will be going into all these different drive modes, guys, and I'll be testing them all out to see you know how different the truck acts, if it actually gets better fuel mileage in eco and all that sort of stuff. But I am going to take you out and show you the big change, what I can see anyway. So the big change for me, and the part that really matters, is the drivetrain. It is this new updated generation of the 6.7 Power Stroke engine, and of course the new 10-speed transmission, which you guys will see that in action here in a second. But here's something that I noticed instantly in some videos that I'd seen. I noticed it right here, right away. The airbox has been changed. In the 17 and 19s, the airbox was back here behind the battery, so they had to route the airflow back to the back. Now they do not have to do that. So finally they listened to us when it came to that too as well. Enough talking, let's hit the road. Like I said, I do have a couple errands to run. I've got to take some stuff to the dump, so I'm gonna go do that first. Of course, I gotta grab a Timmy's. You guys absolutely know that I need that, and we'll see how this thing does on fuel. Alright guys, so for the guys that want it, I will do a more in-depth sort of walk around of the truck, but right now I just really want to get a few MPG numbers out there for you guys, and I know there's like nothing out there right now whatsoever. So also, this is not going to be a pump-to-pump calculation. I'm just going to go off of what the truck says. So I do have some errands to run, but I am going to cut some highway driving as well, so it should be a decent little test. So I'm going to reset my trip right now, and we will see what we get. You guys can see that it is completely zeroed out there. We're in 9th gear right now, doing 52, 53 miles per hour. So we'll see when we get on the highway how this thing does. Driving it home yesterday, if you watched the video yesterday, it 10th gear, cruising on the highway the whole time. It gets in 10th gear fairly quickly actually, even just putting around town. The engine is a little bit cold right now, the transmission's a little bit cold, the truck is not completely warmed up yet. So I'm not going to push the truck too hard, and you can see that it's holding 9th gear. I do believe if the transmission was warmed up like it was yesterday, we'd be in 10th gear right now doing the speeds we're doing. So my initial thoughts on the 10-speed is the first 5 gears, you jump through those pretty quick, and it doesn't hit every gear at all. You usually only catch 2, maybe 3 of those gears in the first 5. And then after that, if you're just putting along, you know, not stomping on the thing, then it seems like it hits each gear from 5 to 10. But I'm sure if you like really step on it, it's gonna skip gears as well. Of course, towing will be completely different, so stay tuned for that. Like I said, I am gonna be hooking up my gooseneck to this. I'll get that video out as soon as I can. I do tow some heavy weights. If you guys are just checking in the channel for the first time, I have lots of other Power Strokes. This will replace my 250, my 17 250, but I also have a 19 350 and a 17 550 that I tow heavy weights with. I work, I plow snow, all that sort of stuff. So if you're just checking in for the first time, you like Power Stroke content, you like truck content, you like diesel content, you come to the right spot. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But for now, guys, I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the drive. Once I get on the highway, I'll bring you back. When I get around town, I'll bring you back again. You can see how the truck handles in around town. This truck absolutely drives smoother than what the 19s do by far. I find this drives extremely smooth. It does not feel like a 1 ton at all. This truck does not feel like a 1 ton whatsoever. So yeah, we're up in 10th gear right now. We're doing the same speed, so you can tell the truck is starting to get up to its operating temperatures, and it's back in that 10th gear. We're doing about 1200 RPM right now. So let's hit the highway. All right, we're just getting ready to pull on the highway here, and I'll give you guys just a little pull. This truck is brand new, so I'm not gonna come on to it too much, but I'll give you a little pull here. So I'm barely on the pedal. You can hear the turbos. See it going through the gears. 2000 RPM seems to be pretty much the shift point. Between 2000 and 2200. And we are up to speed. Guys, I was barely on the pedal right there, like whatsoever. Alright, so let's set the cruise. Set the cruise at 70 miles per hour. So at 70 miles per hour, the landfill that I'm going to is basically right off the highway. So I'll get that done first. So you can see at 70 miles per hour, we are right at, oh, I'm not used to this adaptive cruise control, that's for sure. That works really good. Wow. So I'll do a review on that, don't worry about that. But 10th gear, 70 miles per hour, and we're at 1550 RPM. So that should certainly help with the fuel mileage. Now, again, you know, with this truck being brand new, I'm not expecting to get incredible mileage. From experience, with my 3 Power Strokes that I own, I definitely notice better fuel mileage after, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 miles is when I found it really seemed to improve. So right now, where it's brand new, I'm not expecting, you know, incredible numbers. And of course, guys, this is just a quick little video where I'm on my way back to the dealer. I will be doing a actual long trip MPG video coming up for you guys very soon. All right, so by request, guys, I've got you on a POV mount. I don't think I've ever done this before. Hopefully it's coming through pretty good. So the deal with this truck, guys, if you're just checking in, if you didn't see the video yesterday, we have some plans for this truck. So originally I had ordered a 2020 F350 Platinum Star White, just like this one, but I had ordered it with the FX4 package and the gooseneck or fifth wheel prep package. So this truck just happened to show up on the lot. Actually, a subscriber of mine contacted me and told me it was sitting there. So I went over and looked, and I didn't need the FX4 package anyway, because like I said earlier in the video, we're going to be lifting this truck. Pretty sure it's going to be a 4.5 inch lift. Definitely leaning towards Carly for the lift. We're going to be putting 37s on it, 20 inch rims. So yeah, so stay tuned for all that. But I didn't need the FX4 package, so this is the truck that I chose. So what we're doing now, like I had mentioned, is I'm taking this truck back over to the dealer so they can get a couple more things done to it. I just basically told them I wanted to take the truck home to make sure I wanted this one and not wait for the one that I actually ordered to come in. Well, I knew I was going to get this truck, but I just wanted to get a couple of videos out for you guys while they're getting stuff ready. So I'm taking the truck back, we're getting undercoated, and then I'm going to be taking it to my buddy's shop to get the gooseneck ball put on. And then right after that, we're going to be doing non-stop videos, towing videos, you know, a longer road trip MPG video, just daily driving videos, comparison the 2020 to the 2019. There are some subtle changes, like the box here, for instance, that controls your rain sensing wipers, your adaptive cruise, your automatic headlights. All that stuff is controlled from this box. And in my 2017 Lariat Ultimate, the box was on this side of the mirror. Now it's there, so it definitely helps with your vision. I did mention yesterday that is one thing that I noticed from the when I drove the Ram, the 3500 Limited, is that the box was massive and it came down quite a ways down your windshield, and it took away a lot of visibility, like right here. Now that's not super important, because anything that's right here is going to be, you know, up there anyway, but it is nice that Ford did do this. It's a little subtle change, but it did definitely helped. I'm sure people are driving by right now looking at me going, what in the hell does he have on his head? But anyway, this is kind of gives you guys, you know, it's you know, a POV. The update is we've driven let's see, 33.5 miles, you know, in around town a bit. Highway, the landfill was actually closed even though it said it was open, so I had to turn around and go back, and right now we are averaging 16.8 mpg. So of course I'll show you, you know, the final results when we actually get to where we're going, but so far that's what it is. And like I said, I know from experience that these trucks will get better on fuel, but man, you know, looking at this, it is a beautiful truck, guys. These seats are so soft. Like, I can't get over how soft these seats are compared to my Lariat Ultimate. It is a huge difference. At an idle, you can barely hear the engine at all. But one thing I did notice, and I mentioned this in the video yesterday, is that I can actually hear the turbo in this. I don't know what this guy here, lady in front of me, is doing. I can actually hear the turbo, you know, spool up when you're actually coming on to it a little bit, and you can hear it, you know, almost like a blow-off valve, believe it or not. When you do, like, come to a stop, or, you know, you're slowing down, you can actually hear that. And that's one big gripe that I had with my 2017, my 2019 350, is that you can't hear the turbos at all. And I understand that, you know, they're doing it on purpose. They want these things to be quiet. You know, they're huge, massive diesel engines. They don't want them to be loud and knocky and all that sort of stuff like they used to be. But man, I want to hear this thing. I want to hear this thing. So the lower gears, you can definitely feel a bit, because they're, you know, they're designed, they're down there for towing, getting you moving off the line. The first five gears you can actually feel a little bit in the you know, going through them, and they, like I said, they don't really hit every gear anyway, but you can actually feel those shifts. Whereas from 5 to 10, they are super smooth. The first 5 gears are so close together that you're not going to use those a whole lot, to be honest. But if you're towing, you know, that's what it's there for. If you're towing heavy weights, they're there to get you rolling, get you moving. But once you get out of those 5 gears, the transmission is extremely smooth, just like you would expect it to be from, you know, the Ford torque shift transmission family. They're definitely very smooth transmissions. Like that shift right there from 7th to 8th, you could not feel that, like, whatsoever. Super smooth. So we're in 9th right now. I'm giving it a small little bit of gas, and the thing does not have to downshift at all. We're at 1400 RPM. It has just so much torque that it just goes. It's very similar in a lot of ways to the new high output Cummins. That's what I found when I drove that, is that it doesn't need a downshift. It has so much torque that it just pulls already. That's exactly what this is. It doesn't need to downshift. I'm in 10th right now, barely touching the pedal, and it's accelerating. Obviously I can't accelerate too much because I got a car in front of me, but you know, I just gained 10 miles per hour there, just feathering the pedal with no effort whatsoever. Alright guys, so there are the final numbers. 40.8 miles, 16.7 mpg. Alright guys, so there are the numbers. Not bad for the first drive. It will definitely get better as it breaks in. Longer trips, it will definitely, you know, that will definitely improve. So stay tuned for tons of videos, guys. Like I mentioned, there's so much planned for this truck. Stock videos, and then we'll get into some modifications. So stay tuned. Towing videos coming up right away. You know, better MPG videos, just non-stop 2020 F350 10-speed content. So make make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Be picking this truck back up in like 2 or 3 days for good, and then it's ours till who knows when. So anyway guys, take care, stay safe, we'll see you next time. Bye.